Hello and welcome to Across the Acres, a Beck's Hybrids podcast, where our goal is to connect, challenge, and inspire each and every one of you by interviewing others whom have a story or message to share. I am your host, David Ringer, joined as always by my faithful co-host, producer, engineer, man behind the board, Morgan Fitch.
Hello.
How are you, sir?
Good. How are you?
Good, except you could use at least one more title.
Nah, I'm good.
Holy
I don't need any
moly.
more titles.
I'm out of breath just saying the whole string. It's impressive. Husband and dad of a dog. I mean, you got a lot of things going.
Yeah, well, appreciate that.
Yep. If you want to know more about Morgan, please look up the last episode of Across the Acres. Learn all about Morgan Fitch.
Hey, there we go.
But today, we have with us the one and only Brandon Ricks. Brandon, how are you, sir?
Doing great.
Good. Welcome to Across the Acres.
Thank you.
How excited are you to be here?
I'm thrilled.
Good. Scale of 1 to 10, 1 being I wish I was anywhere but here, 10 being this is the best day of my life.
I don't know, a solid 5, right in the middle.
We'll take it. And so this is one of the many reasons we have you on today, Brandon. You are not a guy necessarily who seeks the limelight. It's not necessarily your goal in life to be on the stage in front of people.
Right.
And yet, what you do for our business is so valuable, and that's why it's important that we get to know you. You touch so many people in so many places, but we'll get to that in a moment.
Okay.
First off, who's Brandon Ricks? Tell us about yourself. Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Fairmount, Indiana, so
Okay.
it's about 50 minutes northeast of Atlanta here.
Okay.
Home of James Dean.
Home of James Dean. Yeah.
Yes,
and
that's right.
more importantly, Jim Davis,
Yep.
who created Garfield.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Nobody does.
Wow.
Except Ball State people
Yeah.
and people from Fairmount.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. So Fairmont from here, how far are we talking from Atlanta, Indiana?
Like 45 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, northeast of here.
Very
Yep,
good.
Right off 69. So.
And raised with how many siblings?
So I have 3 siblings, 2 older brothers, a younger sister.
Okay.
Yep.
So you're the sandwich. You're somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you
Very
got away
good.
with a lot.
No.
Parents pretty disciplinarian type folk?
Yeah, so my dad's a police officer.
Ooh.
Yeah, he was in law enforcement for 42 years. So
Okay, that says a lot.
he was a detective for the state police. I don't know, the last 25, 30 of that, I don't know. So yeah, no, we didn't get away with much. So, and then my mom's a gymnastics instructor. So
Okay.
she started doing that kind of on her own at like 18, and she's still doing it to this day. So yeah, she's
Impressive.
yeah. Yep.
Would let's say you get a speeding ticket, not that you ever would, back when you were living at home. What happens at home if that were to happen outside of the home?
I mean,
You would survive it?
yeah. A lot of heckling from siblings.
Okay.
Yeah, Dad always knew. So,
True, he was the first to find out.
so quick story. I did get pulled over. It was like my 18th birthday, I think. I had a friend with me, and I was breaking the speed limit like pretty good.
Sure. More than a few over.
More than a few over.
Mhm.
And so we're sitting there, and my friend, he's like, "It's taking forever. This is something's wrong. Like we're gonna go to jail.
This is not good.
This is not good." And finally, the officer comes back, and he hands me, my ticket, and he's like, "Tell your dad I'll be getting my poker money back." And like instantly, I was like, "Oh no." And he's like, "Have a good day, whatever." Before I even put the truck in drive, my phone was ringing.
Yep.
So he was back there talking to my dad on the phone the whole,
What to do?
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
What's the length of which we should go to make your son never do this again?
Yeah. Yeah.
No handcuffs were involved.
No,
Okay.
no,
back
it
to the
all
SWAT
worked
card.
out. It's a good lesson. So,
For sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Tell us about your lovely spouse.
Yeah. So I've been married almost 18 months. So Maggie, who works here in the marketing department as well.
Woo-woo.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Shout out Maggie.
Yeah. She's great.
Yes.
awesome.
And a Wisconsin girl got married in Wisconsin.
Yeah. We got married New Year's Eve in Wisconsin. It was at Country Club, like her kind of her family's always been involved with. It happened to work out that New Year's Eve was on a Saturday. That's when we went on our first date. That's when I proposed. So that's when we got married.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Still my regret. I couldn't make that wedding. I'm still bummed about it.
It was a good time.
My wife even comments on that every New Year's. We should have went to Maggie's wedding.
Yeah.
It'll come around again soon. And a great day for you to remember as far as an anniversary goes.
Exactly. Hard to forget.
Hard to forget.
Yep.
What about passions for you? What keeps you driving, going?
I really enjoy motorcycles, dirt bikes in particular, working on them, riding them, racing them.
125s, 250s, what are we talking?
250.
250.
So I just recently, I had been riding a 125, I don't know, the last 4 or 5 years. And just this year I decided to go with the 250 again. So
Yamaha?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice. Good choice. White and blue, I'm guessing.
It's actually pink.
Okay. I should have known that by your shirt, which is a very nice shirt, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. I wanted to do something different, get a little creative and be different. And right now, like old school's kind of the 90s styles kind of coming back.
Absolutely.
So right now, a lot of people are doing purple bikes. So I went with pink.
Yeah,
So.
it's awesome. I've seen pictures.
Nice bike.
Yeah,
What goes around comes around. We've learned that in our lifetime.
we have.
And I just really hope that the avocado-colored toilets don't come back. That was a bad era. I don't know what we were thinking.
Yeah,
Carpet on the walls.
Yeah, let's avoid that too, I think.
carpet in the bathrooms.
Let's avoid that too.
Yeah.
It's a whole
Yeah.
list of things you should never do in remodeling your home. Welcome to the Across the Acres.
Yeah,
When we're dirt biking, where are we dirt biking?
I've been all over kind of the Midwest. I mean, I've raced in Georgia, Florida, like all over the place. Nowadays, now that I'm a little older, mostly just Indiana, Kentucky, southern Indiana.
We're
Michigan.
not riding, we're racing.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Checkered flag and the whole nine yards.
again, now that I'm a little older,
More mature.
yeah.
Yes.
I do more off-road racing. So typical race is like 2.5 hours long. And then you'll, just do, usually it's like maybe 4 or 5 laps, just depends on length of the course. And you'll go for 2 hours and then they'll put the checkered flag out. So it's a endurance off-road type racing.
Not a speed, an endurance.
Well, I mean, it is speed
matters,
too. Yeah,
too.
the fastest to do it in those 2 hours. But yeah,
Man,
is
it's a
it
long time.
is it measured by like distance? Like who can make the most distance in?
no, what they try to end the race like at 2 hours.
Yeah,
So if it's if you come around at a 15-minute lap time or whatever, and you come around at 1:45, they'll put the white flag out, and then it's typically it's like in my class or whatever, who did the most amount of laps in the least amount of time.
yeah, gotcha.
That makes
Gotcha.
sense.
Yep. So
Nice.
Greatest victory.
I don't know.
You're so humble.
Why?
Just
Do you know this?
No, I don't.
Did you
know.
get an Olympic gold medal?
No.
Oh,
No.
man, that'd have been cool.
I mean, I won some local like state championship. 19 and 20 in my class, but I mean, it's nothing crazy.
Still,
Mm-hmm.
that's more than Morgan and I have
For
accomplished
sure.
on
No.
dirt bikes.
I've wrecked one.
I did too.
So-
I fell off one too.
Yeah.
I've done plenty of that. So
Yeah.
I bet. Which, does that point at all to one of your tattoos there, the 899? Does that tie back to dirt bike racing?
it does a little bit. That's for a friend of mine that passed away last year. So that was his number. Yeah, that's for him.
Super cool.
Yep.
What a great way to tribute somebody. I love it.
Yep.
You are a very creative guy. Anybody who works with you, they pick up on this pretty quick. Where's that creativity come from?
I don't know. It's probably from my mom, I would say. She's pretty creative, in her own way. So she does a lot of, craft work, stuff like that. She always has.
She's a crafty person.
Yeah. So I would say a lot of that kind of came from her, and then it was just always something I was drawing and doing this and that. So
any part of that because of like nature? Would you go and sit in the woods, or is it more of a, ooh, hey, that's cool, I'll use that?
Yeah, so it's weird. I always had a thing with drawing tractors when I was younger, which is, it's weird to look back on now. Like
For a young man who didn't grow up on the farm.
Correct. Yeah, but I drew a lot of tractors for some reason.
And what color did you make the tractor?
Green.
Okay. It wasn't pink.
No.
Okay. Green tractors. Got to
Yeah.
go John Deere green. I love it.
Yep.
Any other sources of creativity?
I don't. Yeah. I just like do things with my hands. So, whether building something around the house, furniture, a project, something like that, or working on a motorcycle, for instance, taking it and doing my own thing with it. So
You do most of your own maintenance.
yeah, that's important.
It is. You don't have time to let other people do it.
For me, it's a couple things. Like dirt bikes, motorcycles, they're dangerous enough, right? So,
Very.
I just prefer to put myself, if
Aha.
something breaks, it's on me. So,
That makes sense. I can appreciate that.
yep.
Very good. You are our sign shop manager, so you're constantly building and creating at work.
Mm-hmm.
What's the role of a sign shop manager?
A lot. I think a lot of people don't see. So, we kind of serve, the entirety of the company. Obviously, all of our sales staff, dealers, seat advisors, customers.
That's thousands of people.
Yeah,
Thousands.
It's a lot of people, and then all internal company, internal departments, facilities, all of our outside facilities. So it's a lot of requests from a lot of different folks.
And signs, as far as what you're making, there's the field signs people see along the side of the road that designate whether a hybrid or a variety of soybean or corn. But then what other kinds of signs are you making?
Yeah, field signs is a big one. Vehicle graphics is another one. So our trailer wrap program, all of the facility decor that you see around.
Founded in faith, forged in America. You're the guy that made those? That wrap specifically, the flag rolling thing.
I didn't do the artwork for that, but
No.
yeah,
But you're making them.
I'm making them. Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
And grain bin signs, right?
Some grain.
Some of those grain
Yep.
bin big ones.
Some grain bin signs. All the signage for our trade shows, field shows, extravaganza,
trophies.
Yeah.
Trophies? What
He
kind of
did
trophies
all-
are we talking?
He did all the trophies for extravaganza this year, and you've done other trophies for.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, all over.
Yeah. That's a cool project. That's one where like I really get to be involved in the creative process of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that I really enjoy. Like, again, it's working with your hands, but coming up with something different, really challenging.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you always crush it.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Fantastic work. What we are judged on as an organization, sure, the product we produce, the service we provide, but it's also what people see. And people in our community back home in Central Illinois, they see a Beck's facility, they see the sign, and they're going to say, hey, that must be a well-run organization, based on one view, potentially.
Yeah.
I hear it all the time. You guys do a great job of signage. Oh, it looks great. I'm like, hey, you ought to meet Brandon. He's a great guy. He tends to wreck his, bike every now and then, but he's a great guy.
Yeah.
You know what? Backing up, biggest wreck. Did you ever have a heck of a wreck?
Oh, I've had some good ones.
Okay. A lot of broken bones.
Yeah, man. Unfortunately, I've broken quite a bit. Man, biggest one, I don't know. I've had some funny ones. I've had some funny ones where, some friends of mine have seen them and they're like, it's how'd you walk away type thing. But I don't know. Biggest one.
Okay. No worries. That's the way my brain works. I'm like, ooh, all of a sudden.
Yeah.
What's the favorite part of your day to day? What part of the job makes you excited the most?
I think it would be that creative part of it, which it's my probably favorite part, and then it can be my most challenging part at times. Is like finding ways to be creative, especially in my role, because a lot of my day to day is it can be kind of copy paste. It's producing a lot, right? So
Absolutely.
a lot of that for me is maybe not as creative as I'd like it to be.
It gets very like repetitive, like
Right.
just like go. Yeah.
Which is probably the hardest part then on the flip side of your day is the repetition
Could be, yeah.
and working with Morgan.
Nah.
I mean, holy
No,
cow.
That's fine. That's always enjoyable.
Oh, thanks, man.
Absolutely. Which maybe you said this already, but you are a part of our creative marketing department.
Correct, yeah.
Report up through that structure, if you will, but you're on the other side of our little street here.
Yeah.
Does that ever get challenging or difficult at all?
Yeah.
With thumb on hand, so to speak.
Yeah, it can be. Yeah, it can be difficult just being detached from the rest of the team, and being involved as maybe I'd like to be. That can be kind of a challenge at times.
Absolutely. From a regional site perspective, sometimes we feel the same way. Atlanta's the mothership,
Yep.
Hotlanta, as we like to call it. And then you get out to Marshalltown or Mount Pleasant, Goner, and it isn't as convenient to have that meeting. Oh, now I got to do it over WebEx. It's not as good. Or they forget to include you in a meeting just because. And it's, oh, yeah, I forgot. You guys are in El Paso. That kind of stuff can happen even here, and just because of location. It's just life itself. So thank you for staying involved with your team. And as a regional site, if you're outside sales, as a dealer, you have to stay connected. You have to force yourself sometimes to be connected.
Yeah,
Takes a little extra effort.
And it is. It's been like, especially lately, a point of emphasis, just to be conscious about that and
Good.
try to get more involved in,
We are unstoppable together.
That's what they say.
Amen.
Yeah.
As opposed to being stoppable apart. We want to avoid that if we can. Okay. This is not maybe the easiest part of the podcast, my friend, but we're going to go here because we love you. Not an extrovert.
Yeah.
But forced into somewhat of an extrovert's job. How do you handle that?
That took a lot of education, I think. It's, being introvert, okay? It's something I probably didn't realize about myself. I can see it now. I look back at, situations when I was younger and I was like, light bulb, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't really something I understood until, working with the education team here. Yeah.
We have a resource for you called Cloverleaf. Do you use that at all yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
We've been through all that. That's probably what really put the light bulb in my head.
Yeah.
So
It is an interesting dashboard that collaborates 9 different personality assessments. You can take 1 or 10 or however you want to do that. Well, 1 or 9. Sorry, said that wrong. But when you do that, now I can use the comparison tool, and I can look at Morgan and I can look at Brandon and see where you two align, see where you would work well together, see where there might be a challenge or a conflict.
Yep.
That's pretty handy.
It is. Yeah.
People aren't necessarily easy to figure out.
No.
No, but I love about it is you can figure out some more about, yourself.
Yeah.
As well.
Mm.
It's weird to plug, just answer questions, and then it comes back with pretty brutally honest feedback. At times you're like,
Mm-hmm.
shut up, you're a program. You don't know me.
You can't tell me who I am.
Yeah.
Have you then advanced in your mind with being comfortable in the uncomfortable?
It's a challenge, and like anything else, I'm open, to that challenge. So, making the step, I'm here today.
Mm-hmm. You're doing great.
Yeah.
This is a stretch for you.
Yeah,
Is that fair to say?
it is. So, that's the weird kind of thing is people associate introverts with like we're not social people, and that's not necessarily the truth.
Right.
As humans, everybody, we're all social, right? We also all have a social battery. Mine's probably a lot different than David's.
Yeah.
So I just, I got to be real careful about, that battery and recharging it. And, for me, I'm social just like anybody else. I much prefer, a deeper conversation than hey, how,
What's the weather like?
Yeah.
Right.
The small talk.
The small talk
stuff.
So for me, it's understanding that and then just being conscious and kind of putting myself in the right situations to conserve, my battery so I don't get drained and overwhelmed and, all the negative that comes kind of with it.
What do you do then to recharge the battery?
Quiet place, headphones, really deep dive into my work, try to do something creative just to get that energy back up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
To describe this in a large social setting, you would prefer that the three of us were hanging out in a corner talking as opposed to you going from group to group to group.
Right. Yep.
Okay. At the Christmas party, that's our job. We got to go find you.
Yeah, we've sat together
Yeah.
a few years of the Christmas party.
Yep.
So.
That's good. Thanks for keeping an eye on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As an introvert then within a extrovert's job set, you've achieved success in this. You've been here 9 years?
Yeah. And a couple months, 9 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Perfect. Advice you would give to other people whom maybe they're an extrovert doing an introvert's job, or vice versa, as you're doing, introvert doing an extrovert's job. Well, what advice would you give them?
I don't know if you want to take my advice.
Sure we do.
No, I mean, I'll just plug the education team. There you go.
Thank you.
There's
I did
one.
not pay him to say that, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I think it's just getting to know yourself.
Step one.
Yeah. Setting some boundaries and expectations. Those are kind of things that, the first step is just realizing what you need as a person, an employee, and kind of setting those expectations for yourself and others. So
You have a strong desire to be better as well. That's extremely important. You seek counsel from other people. You're not content with status quo.
Yeah.
I think that helps too.
Yeah, I mean, this is, like I said, it's something I learned about myself while I was here, and it's just another challenge for me, and I like challenges. So
Absolutely. This is why we invited you here. We knew this about you, and it's a matter of saying, hey, there are other people in a similar situation. Let's spread the good news. And so get to know who you are first, seek some counsel and advice, stretch yourself a little bit, come on across the acres,
yeah,
see what happens.
yeah.
Can't go wrong. What about a mantra? Is there a quote? Is there a theme you live by?
Not really. I struggled with this one, So I talked to Maggie about this.
Ooh, you got advice from your spouse. Also, very good advice.
No, but she was just she asked me. She's like, "Well, what about motorcycle?" Yeah. So anyway, there's an old saying: "When in doubt, throttle out." Okay, and I was like, "Okay, it's an old saying, but it's essentially like if there's something in front of you, like just tackle it head on." So
Absolutely.
but it's an old theory in motorcycles that if you're in trouble, the gas is only going to help you.
It's like in the 500, accelerate through the crash.
Yep.
That's right. They're told to do that.
Yeah.
To drive through it. When in doubt, I'd never heard that phrase before. Had you heard that phrase before?
I haven't heard it said like that so eloquently.
Yeah.
That's really well said.
There's a second part. There's a second part to it that I just get a kick out of, but it's it may not improve your situation, but it'll end the suspense.
Yeah.
That's
pretty good.
priceless. I love it.
I like
it
it
will
too.
end this suspense in short order.
Yeah. It could. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't attack it properly. So.
Speed never killed anybody. It's the sudden stopping that gets you.
Yeah, that's
Every time.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was brought up in Days of Thunder, which, that's a movie you can live by.
Yeah.
But you're supposed to hit the gas through the crash. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
And is that hard to do in the moment, to hit the throttle when you know you're in trouble?
It's hard. Yeah. I mean, because your natural reaction is, right, like I'm in trouble.
Grab the brake.
A lot of times it's not what you should do.
Andy Sovereign just told me yesterday, when you're up against the wall of life, you're wearing your favorite hat, throw your hat over the wall because you'll figure out a way to go get it.
I for sure would.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Yeah.
you would. You are a
you
hat
would.
guy. In fact, when you walked in here today, I'm blown away you didn't have a hat on. But
Yeah.
you got really good hair, so you don't need the hat. You wear it because you like hats?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
And I'm not even going to... I can ask this now, I think. I just don't want to interrupt our Fun Fast 5.
I don't know where he's going with this.
This is dangerous. But your favorite hat right now?
Ooh, good one.
I don't know. I got this solid black hat that I wear pretty much every day. That's probably it.
No logo,
It's a nice
no
hat,
nothing.
too.
No logo.
I dig
I'm not
it.
a big logo guy, honestly.
Not a supporting of the Yamaha brand. You're not wearing their shirts or nothing.
Not till they're paying me.
Shout out to Yamaha. If you want to sponsor this guy, get on the stick. He'll wear what you've
There
got.
you go.
That's a great choice. The brand of that hat. Like, is there a maker of it or the style?
Yeah, it was a Saya hat, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good choice. It's a comfortable hat.
It is nice.
And it looks good on you,
Thank
which is
you.
extremely important. Then, when in doubt, throttle out.
I like it.
And the second half of it was, again?
I mean, that's just a silly part of it, but it may not improve your situation, but it'll end the suspense.
Yeah, I think we're going to use that at home with one of my boys. That's good stuff. Thank you. You've accomplished your mission here today. You've inspired me to go home and put that one to work. So thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, what else are we missing here, Morgan? Is there anything else we need to cover with this young man? We're probably not going to get him back. I have a feeling. Because I had to beg to get him here today, which isn't true. I didn't beg, but...
I mean, obviously, it was an adjustment to go from I've known you for like 5 years, and you're a quiet dude, but like also we've had good conversations before.
Right.
What's it? I mean, you deal with so many different people who are probably all giving you small talk or trying to
Yeah.
just talk. Like, obviously, it's tough. How do you deal with that day to day, or do you just kind of compartmentalize and then go home and recharge?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, you have to, right?
Yeah.
So I have, I've got a job to do here, and it's like nothing else. Like I'm gonna, do what I need to do to get the job done, and then I'll go home and, I might go in the garage for a little bit. And
Yeah.
I might play a game on my phone. I don't know,
Yeah.
watch some movie I've seen 1,000 times. But yeah, I deal with that usually when I get home.
Yeah.
I may not have always, to be honest.
Right.
When I was newer here, probably didn't do a good job of that, of just doing what I need to do while I'm here and then dealing with it when I got home. But,
Yeah.
As I've, grown a little bit, we got to do what we need to do.
Yep.
I came on board shortly after you, and I have seen a lot of change and growth in you. Just your, the different way you approach a dealer. And I hear these things back from people just because I'm out and about with them. And you have made adjustments, changes, improvements. It's just the experience they're having at the field sign shop is very, very good. That's a direct result of your effort to just be as good as you could be. Keep it up, man. You're doing great.
Yeah. Crushing it.
Yeah, and it's so important to what we do. Marketing is humongous to this company. Sonny says it. We're a marketing company. That's what we do. And it's a relationship business. How better to connect with people other than marketing and having them see who and what we are by what they drove by at 75 mile an hour in the middle of nowhere, Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
So keep it up. This is fantastic stuff.
Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Crushing it.
One last question off of Morgan's would be, to avoid the burnout, to avoid any sort of massive blow up or frustration, do you have a boundary set in your mind? Like, okay, wait a minute, this is too far, I got to go recharge? Or is it just in the moment you're
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I just, you know, got to try to set those expectations for myself and not put myself in situations where I know, you know, I'm going to have sometimes it's not possible, you know.
True.
We just went through, it's funny, I told this to Maggie after the fact. So I just went through the leadership class, and Ashley had asked, excuse me, if anybody had an example of something like you had a task to do and you didn't think you would be able to do it, right? And I immediately thought of one. It was summer camp like a couple years ago where we had like a game night or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that.
And my game, which I'm still undefeated, so if you want to try.
Nice.
But the game I came up with was literally just me asking questions, face-to-face conversation with dealers, right? And when I told Sean this, he's like, are you sure you want to, you know? It's like, I got to do it, right? And
Sean's his boss.
Sean, yes,
Our boss.
Yes, our boss.
True.
So, you know, that was one situation where I had so much anxiety. I didn't think that I would actually, what I told Ashley was like, that was one situation I thought I would die. And the funny thing about that, and I didn't share this in the class, I didn't really think about it until I got home, but all these things that I do outside of work and even my previous roles, like getting hurt, you know, that really was a consequence. And that didn't bother me. That bothered me, but I got through it. So
You did.
and better for it. But it was like one of those, like, I got done and I was like, I mean, it was just a challenge. I knew I could do it. So
Absolutely.
Did you
Yeah.
feel good after? Like, were you like, oh, hey, this isn't as bad as I thought? Or
yeah,
I can now do it and I can now take that,
yeah, it's
I guess, into the future.
yeah, it's steps, right? Like,
Yeah.
I still, you know, and that's another thing, like with being an introvert, like you get like when you get outside your comfort zone, like you get like a high, like it gives you
Right.
like, yeah, I can do it. You got to be careful because right after that, you can still get that crash.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to be careful with that. So
Knowing is oftentimes more than half the battle.
right,
You're describing, I know what's going to come next, and it isn't going to be fun, but at least I know it.
yeah, and it's easier to deal with. Like,
You're prepared.
yeah, because when I was younger, I didn't understand it.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's like easier to process and
Yeah.
deal with and move forward, and I just know what's coming.
That's right. Might as well embrace it.
Yep.
Here we go. Joe Madden, wasn't he the guy that said embrace the suck? And I thought, wow, that's a really harsh phrase, but this is when he was managing the Cubs, and he had inherited a team that was so unsuccessful. And 2016, they won the World Series.
Yep.
Clearly, they did just fine. And maybe we can just say embrace the difficult. Sorry, Joe, but we're going to change it just a little bit. But I think that's what
challenge.
you're describing.
Embrace the
Embrace the
challenge.
challenge.
Yeah.
Nice. Good job, you.
Yeah.
Anything else you would like to add today?
No, I don't think so.
Any like Social Security number, Swiss bank account numbers,
How's your
anything
golf
like
game
that?
going?
Ooh, there
I haven't
you go.
played yet.
Oh, really?
No.
Well, it's too wet out.
Well,
Holy
yeah.
cow, it's wet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe this weekend. I don't know.
It's supposed to be
So,
nice.
Yeah. Well,
I heard-
Masters are on. So
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
so I'm like, now I'm getting the itch.
Yeah. Right?
This is before the recording, so if you want to make a prediction, will Tiger make the cut? A record-setting time?
No.
Morgan says no.
I mean, he's Tiger.
He is
I'd
Tiger.
like to say yes.
So
but
yeah, I think so. Yeah, I do.
I'm going to say yes as well. Morgan's going to rub it in her face if we're wrong. But
no.
if we're right, Morgan has to buy us dinner.
Oh, hold on. I
Yes.
did not agree to this.
Oh, I'm a sneaky guy.
Yeah, you are.
Crafty.
Yeah.
Just like Brandon's mom. Very crafty. Just in a
Yep.
different way.
Yep.
Well, if you're ready for it, the fun, fast 5.
Yeah, I suppose. Let's do
Okay.
it.
Someone who knows you well helped me come up with these, so you can blame her if you don't like them.
She didn't tell me that.
Oh, of course she didn't. Only 1 or 2 of them. Number 1,
Okay.
cash or credit,
Credit.
tacos or wings,
Tacos.
to hang out with on a Saturday, me or Maggie.
Maggie.
Oh,
Good answer.
Wrong choice. Richardson 112 or a standard flat bill?
I mean, some of those 112s. A 112.
Okay, I like that. That's my choice as well. Fast and Furious or the Bad Boys?
Yeah. I'm gonna say Bad Boys.
Bad boy.
Which that's probably gonna shock her. The Bad Boys movies are good.
So good.
I love them and I'm gonna watch them, but some of the Fast and Furious movies are getting kind of rough.
They are almost beyond
Now,
belief.
if you'd asked me between Fast and Furious 1 and 2, Bad Boys 1 and 2, that would have been harder.
Okay.
Bad Boys 2 is so good, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But the original Fast and Furious is really well done.
Yeah.
If you're a speed guy, if you're into cars, if you're into any sort of racing.
Racing for pinks.
Mm-hmm. Can you imagine doing that, by the way?
No.
I really like my car, and I paid a lot of money for that. I don't have that kind of competitive drive to say, let's just do this. Would you do it? Have you ever?
No.
Okay. I didn't think so, but I just thought I'd ask. That was pretty resounding no.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, well, Brandon, thank you for being willing to do this,
man.
man. You did
Thank you.
great. Appreciate you coming on Across the Acres.
Wasn't as bad as I thought.
See, here we are.
Yeah. Never is.
When in doubt, throttle out.
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you to all of you for joining us on Across the Acres, where our goal is to connect, challenge, and inspire. Please give us a 5-star rating and review on the podcast provider of your choice. And until next time, we will catch you across the acres.